Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. How is everybody? Looks a little dark in here. Wednesday afternoon. Halfway through the week. Gabriel, how are you? Yes, indeed. Tomorrow is my Friday, essentially. It's not. I work like 3/4 of a day on Friday, so I don't know why I keep thinking Thursday's my Friday, but uh, it sure feels that way. Friday's a little bit more relaxed. So since there's no streaming on that day. So Russell, hello. Ellen, bonjour. You're solo at work today. Your assistants got pulled to other sites. Every day is a work day when you own a business. Every day, and you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself if you think that moving all your crap out of your house to a warehouse where you leave everything there and go home. You're fooling yourself if you don't think that you're going to work at home. So I don't totally agree. Um, I try not to. There's separation of work and home life whenever possible, but that's all right. If you love what you do, you never work another day in your life, I guess. So anyway, we got a bunch of pens to test today, so we're gonna do some testing. That's good. I picked up a nice Carmine Balance today, so we'll restore that. And I don't know what else we got beyond that. I probably got some more pastels I could probably work on. That would probably be all right. But working a little bit on the shop today, getting things organized. You're your own worst boss when you own a business. Yeah. There's only one person you report to, and that's yourself. I'm working on moving some things around the shop. I've got too many pencils and ballpoints and roller balls mixed in with the fountain pen. So I think I'm going to move those to another case. I keep all the fountain pens together. It'll spread things out and also give me a little bit more room because I'm kind of running out of room the way I have it set up now. So, and I counted this morning, and I think I have something like 85. And now these do not include pencils that are in sets with fountain pens are being sold together. Those will stay with next to their fountain pen. But I think I have something like 85 pencils, roller balls, and ballpoints. So. Actually, it's more than that now that I think about it. I missed a couple. All right. Anyway, that was today's project, cleaning off the counters and going through. And then I had to. I discovered a couple days ago. I got an email from my host that my email account was at like 97% capacity. I'm like, well, how the heck did that happen? So I spent a majority of the morning. I sorted all my emails by attachment, by size, and started deleting because I get emails from a lot of people about, hey, can you fix my pen? And then they send me like 17 images that are like a mega piece or something like that. So I'm going through. Good afternoon, the captain. Hi. I'm going through the emails. And I'm finding where the culprits are, attachments that, maybe my mom or whatever. You try to reduce the size, photos take up space. Yeah, you had quite a few in there, actually. Yeah, you had quite a few in there. But yeah, I got some from my mom and, joke emails that she forwards and stuff. Kathleen, hello. And what kind of made me sad, and I'm going through, and then there's like receipts from the Home Depot when I was renovating my kitchen. You should email me more photos to do your part. I went from 97 to like 58%. But I'm going through it, and then I start seeing emails from Frank Fiorella and Inky Greetings from Pandemonium And I've been real reluctant to delete those emails. I would save the Inky greetings if there was something really interesting in there that I wanted to keep for like a price reference. I can't delete those. I just can't. I can't do it. I would feel bad. I mean, there are no more. There's not going to be ever going to be another Inky greetings. Archive them on a drive. I mean, it's not like they're taking up that much room. But at a certain point, they were all like kind of the same size. So as I'm going down, I get Inky greeting, Inky greeting, Inky greeting, Inky greeting. An email from Frank. Inky greeting, Inky greeting. Home Depot, Inky greeting, I only kept the ones where there was something I was interested in. And I wanted to keep it for a price reference. But, I mean, I probably have, I don't know how many I have. You used to sit refreshing your email on Inky greeting days? Yeah. Yeah, I can think of a couple pens off the top of my head that I bought from them, from Inky greetings. I can't believe I got them. And a couple times I hesitated too long and got smoked. Yeah, I miss those days. Was it, I forget, was it like Tuesday or something? Was it a Tuesday as well? Something like that? Maybe not. And then there was like an Inky greeting light or something like that they would do once in a while. But yeah. When you go through and then there's like email from people that they're not with us anymore. You can't get rid of those. So thankfully, most of them are text. But like I say, I got a lot of emails from people who are like, "Hey, can you fix my Esterbrook?" And there's a picture of a black Esterbrook, and there's like 17 versions of it. Like, yeah, I don't really need that. That's cool. I was, however, reminded of some very interesting nibs that are not in my Esterbrook.net nib chart, including one I completely forgot about. And there is a picture clear as day. Are you ready for this? Of a 2608. I have no idea what that is. No idea what a 2608 is. You only once said no when Sam or Frank offered you something. We would go by their table. And every once in a while, we'd go by their table, and then Sam would just hand me something. And it'd be a bag of Esterbrook nibs, or a bag of Esterbrooks, or a box of Esterbrook desk pens in boxes in the master pack. And she would save them for me, knowing that I was just going to buy them anyway. So she didn't have to list them. She didn't have to do anything with them. And I was like, okay, well, how much? And she'd tell me, and I'd give her the money, and that was it. That was the end of the transaction, So it worked for both parties. But what am I going to do with that? I think one time it was, the last time you saw, I'm going to show you left with 3 file boxes of stuff. Thank you. Who's going to come by tomorrow? Oh. I was tempting her with a very nice rollable.
I told her to call. We'll save it for her.
I told her she can text me.
Who's there? Hans.
Yeah, we got Gabriel. We got David.
Hello, everybody.
Says hi. Who we got? Russell, Kathleen, Captain, Ellen. A lot of people.
Do I have to go back?
You do have to go back. I'm sorry. I'm not making enough. Now, see, we can have like a little Kickstarter here, and we could just like everybody.
She's so miserable.
Everybody could just pitch in and make up your salary.
But I can't leave Doc.
But you can't leave Doc. That would be awkward, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Who's that stranger?
Well,
It would be awkward. Hey, good morning. How you doing? We're going to go over here. We'll pay your rent.
Yeah, no, I can't leave him yet.
No, you got another year
I got a couple years.
or two. Sadly. Bye. Anyway, 3 file boxes. I think you told me this story. I don't remember what was in the file boxes, but they, I remember, I think once it was like 20 Esterbrook desk pens. They were black with clear tapers, model W's, What am I going to do with those? Whatever am I going to do with those things? You know, you can't put them together and put them in a pen. You have to keep them all in the box. But she would do stuff like that all the time. You know, dip pen nibs and 5000 series nibs and, you know, stuff like that. And then I would throw her for a loop. And I remember once she had some Parker 61 parts, and that was maybe the dumbest purchase I have ever made. And I bought every single Parker 61 part that she had. Caps, barrels, arrows. I mean, how do you think you ended up with 5,000 Schaefer ballpoint refills? Okay, there we go. And I was like, oh, you know, I think I might work on 61 sometime. And, you know, there's caps, there's barrels. No, I don't remember what I paid. It was all reasonable, right? You know, it was probably no more than the purchase of two or three pens worth, maybe. But like, what are you going to do with that? You throw it in a bin, and you look at it once every a bag of prototype Schaefer cartridges. Well, you know, that reminds me of seeing being in St. Louis. And Cindy Reppert is having Rob Bader sell a bunch of her stuff. And he comes up to me with 2 crates. And he looks at me and he goes, I forget what it was. It was like $50 or $75. So give me $50, he said. And that, you know, if you don't know Rob, that's how he operates. If he has something he knows you're going to want or you're going to use, that's how he talks. Give me $50. Like, he's got 2 crates. What the hell's in the crates, right? And he says, give me $50. And I give it to him. He goes, here. And he hands it to me. And I look at Lisa and she's like, I don't, you know, it's like prototype Schaefer stuff, and it's dirty Schaefer stuff, and it's caps and barrels that are scratched up that you almost can't use. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but now I have 2 crates of Schaefer stuff, you know, and I was able to make a couple of pens out of, like, maybe a dozen pens, but they're so scratched and you know, because they've been rattling around together. They've been so scratched up. I can't, like, eBay's my friend on that one, but I just refuse to go on eBay. So yeah. So yeah, Sam Fiorella, Frank was like the silent partner because everybody talked to Sam. Sam was the one that was always on the forums and bought maybe the best desk set ever from Sam and Frank. Durez double dipless for, I forget the number on it. Black with red cap. Outstanding. And the price was, I mean, it was it was a tough nut to swallow 20 years ago when I bought it, you know. You spent $200 20 years ago. That was a lot of money. Anyway, you got the most ridiculous prototypes from them. Yeah, they always had fun stuff. We always, Lisa and I always joke when we first started to go on the pen show circuit. We wanted to be like Sam and Frank. We wanted to be the next Sam and Frank. Because they had been doing it for so long. And they were like, you know, the perfect couple. But, yeah, I couldn't delete those emails. Just couldn't do it. So, anyway, let's not get teary-eyed over Sam and Frank. Sam's still with us. Even though we haven't heard from her in a couple of years. But, I know she wasn't doing well last I heard. So. All right, guys. There we go. We're gonna put these guys together. We're gonna test them. I got that M2. I've actually got a Delta. I'm gonna try. But let's do these first because I want to get these out of the way. These, I did not photograph these. So these are going to be about a week. These will get photographed next week. Well, the first batch of consignment pens from this consigner go up hopefully tomorrow. Didn't quite make it today. I had a couple visitors in the shop. I always used to laugh though, because for a while there, Sam and Frank were selling flower frogs and typewriters, and they had all these typewriters to the shows. I'm thinking, oh my heavens! And sometimes they would sell. I don't know what kind of typewriter, but you know. This one's going to need a little help. Oops. Tried to sell you a 40-pound lithography stone for Schaefer letterhead. It's the only thing you declined. 40 pounds. She was also somewhat of a closet Esterbrook collector too, so every once in a while I get something really cool from her. It was huge and kind of broken. Kind of broken. I got it in, it was kind of not aligned right. Colin, how you doing? It's really hard to get these lined up sometimes, especially if they don't twist. Busy day, you started a new business. Kind of fun, setting things up. Now I have to do the work. Also fun, but not always as thrilling. It's always a great idea in theory, isn't it? Started a new business. In new business, then you need a new pen. Well, I guess you got two coming for me, so. Those went out today, by the way. Probably got a notice. Loving your nurse pen. Awesome. Nice weather here today. High, I think, is 78 degrees. It was 50 in the 50s overnight, which was really nice. My cats were not monsters last night, and yet somehow my Apple sleep score is only listed as I think it was 76 or something today. Okay. You're getting caught up on the podcast. So I heard an interview with someone from Midori about the history of the Traveler's Notebook. Wait, what? I don't know anything about that. I don't know. I am hoping for Midori, an MD product, to get back in the swing of things because it's been so hard trying to get product from them. And there's a sole U.S. distributor. And certain items were discontinued until end of summer. You need something to retire into. 76 here, much drier. Yeah, looks wrong both ways. Why did this one have it too? So now this one's got Conway Stewart on the bar. So let's put that so that we can see it when we got to fill this window. Yeah, that looks nice. So I don't really need this. Dry weather in the summer just doesn't happen here, though there's a cool breeze here today. Only 91. I still think yesterday's conversation about you getting a winter home up here. Was it a winter home? Summer home. Summer home. It's a fantastic idea. One thing's for certain, you'll find more pens at antique stores up here. All right, this is a 28. Oh, yeah. Lots of Parkers and Schaefers. Yep. In theory. Not always the case. Find the same pens whenever I go out, go out looking here? None. It's about time I headed out to the... Oh, it doesn't exist. I was going to say it's about time I head out to the local Appleton Antique Mall, but they closed their doors. They no longer exist. There is one not too far from here, from the shop here. Oh, this is nice. Oh, my heavens. That looks like your kind of pen. Yeah, that's something, isn't it? Maybe slightly exaggerated on this paper, but wow. I love that Conway was not afraid to make nibs that were obnoxiously large. You know, Swan was kind of that way too, you know. Sometimes you find Swan nibs that are like double broads. This is a pen I could wrap my hands around. And on these, I always, you see I have my finger there? It's actually on these rails. It's not on the tab. And then when I pull it out, I slide my finger on the rails. You should start straightening out the nib on your 58. I think I should get one. That's where I should start. Oh, such a nice pen. That is so nice. I don't even know what the going rate for 58s are. I'm going to have to research that. Oh, this is nice too. This is really a sweet nib. Oh my goodness. I almost like this nib better than this broad nib. This is more of a medium. Late birthday present to myself. Yeah, it could be mine. No, I got something else in mind. I do have an anniversary of sorts coming up in a couple of months, so. Problem is, Brian is mildly allergic to celluloid pens. If it was hard rubber, it would be in his case. Yes, I am mildly allergic to celluloid. Did they make it? They didn't make a 58 in hard rubber, did they? Now that would be something. All right, so this one is a 14. Looks like it's got a kind of a medium-ish nib. Coated in black urushi. On green hats? That's kind of a crime, huh? Rub some black shoe polish on it. You guys. I don't know. I may treat myself in DC. I don't usually come with the personal pen budget, but I think I'm going to come with the personal pen budget, and then we'll see what comes of that. Probably be more of a fine nib on Apica. Super smooth. Slightly a little bit more slender. I love this bandless cap design. It's really great. Maybe I'll win the door prize of your seminar so you won't have to spend your budget to get something new. That would be a tough one. I wouldn't know what. I mean, I'm not gonna say what it is because that's your show. But knowing what it is, it would be a really. I'm not sure what I would do with it. I mean, it would be cool to win. Would it be my first choice of pens to get? Not necessarily. I have one very similar, which I need to ink up and use. But I like it. There's never a bad free pen. I mean, although I want to say that maybe I've used up my allotment of luck on winning free pens at pen show seminars. And if you haven't heard me tell this story before, long time ago, probably one of the first year or two, it's probably 13, 14 years ago. You want to win the pen? You don't have it? I'll tell you what, if I win it, you and I will make a deal. How's that sound? Back when Roger Cromwell was doing the show circuit, and he doesn't do it anymore. Yeah, for a while he was teaching an interesting seminar called How to Buy and Sell Pens. And so I went a couple times. You got a jet. This is informative. You'll be back some future live shows. Have a great day. I'll watch the rest of it. Yeah, sounds good, Captain. That was right when Lisa and I started, and we were having these things where we were having a lot of luck finding vintage pens. And we would go to a lot of antique malls, and we were finding collections, and they were coming our way, and we were having issues with, number one, our relative newness, not necessarily to the hobby, but of the buying portion of the hobby. We would buy what we like, and we would buy Esterbrook, and then that was it. But, I couldn't tell you a snorkel from a touchdown from a Vacuumatic. And all the variance in value in the entire range from a sub-deb to a senior maxima kind of thing, oversized. And so I was talking with, veterans of the hobby. Rob Bader was one of the first, and trying to learn how they price things in groups. And so when Roger started doing this How to Buy and Sell Pens seminar, which actually, I hate to say it, it didn't really have any viable information in it. It was, I don't know what I gained from it other than just sitting in with other people. And in the end, at one point, we all tried to evaluate what we thought a collection was worth, and that was interesting. But he had this seminar, and it was like an hour long. And at the end, you would put your name in a hat, and he would pull one name out to be the winner of this collaboration, this pen that he made, which was a pretty cool pen. Well, so everybody goes, and at like 55 minutes, people start bailing. And I'm looking around the room, and I'm counting the people, and I'm thinking, well, this is great. Every time somebody gets up, my odds go up. An hour when the seminar is supposed to be done, he's still talking. People get up and leave. Hour 10, people are getting up and leaving. Hour 20, people are getting up and leaving. At an hour and a half, he finally stops talking, says, okay, well, I think he was answering questions and things like that. And he says, well, let's draw for the winner. And at this point, there was like 6 people in the room left. And we're like, we got a really great chance of winning this thing. And he pulled my name, and I just about crapped. Was a great pen. Gold nib. It was pretty super cool. And before I went though, Lisa said like, okay, now go to the seminar. I'll watch the table, because we had a table at the time. And she says, go win the pen. So, like, you know, hour and a half later, I come back and I'm like, got the pen. This is a 67. So that's the only pen I think I've ever won at a pen show. Beautiful two-tone nib, really beautiful engraving. You know, it's not like today when people make nibs, they just laser engrave it. This was stamped. It was gorgeous. It was really great. It was what did he call it? It was the Dipper. It had maybe the world's ugliest clip, but the rest of the pen was super cool. It had mother of pearl inlay. I mean, it was really great. Limited edition. All right, a little feedback, but it is extra, kind of an extra fine. I laughed that you want to win that pen because I'm pretty sure I offered you that pen. And I am pretty certain my local bank has that pen now. I'll be sitting on the president's desk. You did? You just had no cash at the time. Okay, right. Sorry, I got a little chuckle over it. It's also testimony to the kind of unexcitedness, if that's a way to phrase it, over the color choice. But I bet the reason you're getting it is the reason I was offering it to you is because there are lots of them. Yeah, someone would be thrilled to get. I mean, absolutely. I mean, if I wanted, I would be thrilled. I mean, I might change my mind. I might go, hey, you know, I won this pen because I watched David drone on for an hour about vanishing points. All right, here we got a 107. A little bit finer, more of a fine line as opposed to an extra fine. I kind of like it. It's got kind of a almost Japanese aesthetic, almost a pilot aesthetic to the clip. That matte champagne color with the gold plated clip. You think it's about time to retire the seminar, so at least it's going to go out with a nice giveaway? Yeah. Next seminar can be on the history of Schaefer. Subtitle, A Predecessor to My New Book on Schaefer. Right? Is that what how it's going to be? And by my new book, I mean your new book. Does that mean Cardinal Pens and Ink is offering a research fellowship to complete the book? I don't know who's funnier, you or me. In all seriousness, if you are going to be in DC in 2 weeks, Saturday morning, let me just double check. I've got it on my calendar here. Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. David's Vanishing Point seminar is a must see. Drawing for a free pen at the end of the seminar. We are literally getting up in the morning, doing our rounds, going to the seminar, and leaving after the seminar. That's how good the seminar is going to be. After the seminar, there is nothing else you need to see. I'm certain of it. All right, this is maybe the worst. Ew, time to fix this. Yeah, it's a free seminar. Free seminar, people. And a $400 MSRP Vanishing Point SE in black to be given away. Why am I telling you this? The more people that go, the less chance I have of winning this pen. Don't go. It's not worth your time. Go, 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 go. And if you so feel inclined that the seminar is worth attending and you win the pen and you want to do something good with it, you can give it back to David because he doesn't have this pen. I'm sure he'll buy you a cup of coffee or something. There we go. I'm looking forward to it. I've never been able to attend. Oh, we have varsities for all participants. Pilot varsities for all participants, people. Last Conway Stewart is problematic. Free. Did we mention free? Let me check airfare to DC. Yeah, you do that. All the cool kids are going. Okay, we got a little bit more ink flow. And ephemera. Neat vanishing points and ephemera. I mean, I'm there for the ephemera. Only because I was fortunate enough to see the pens firsthand. And let me tell you, people, if you are interested in Pilot at all, you've got to go. You have to go see this. It's mind blowing. It really is. If you think you've seen Vanishing Points, you have not seen Vanishing Points. I guarantee it. There is not another collection like this anywhere. And did we mention it's free and you can win a pen? I'm gonna start a new page for this guy because this guy's a problem child here. You're contemplating having it recorded? Not sure yet? Yeah, you should have it recorded. Videotaped, maybe? I'm assuming that's what you mean. Maybe you can send your friend who lives there instead? Yeah, there you go. I mean, it'd be better if you were there. But let's show David some support and let's all show up at his seminar. Let's make it standing room only. And if I'm not mistaken, David, it is only Saturday morning. It is only 10 to 11 on Saturday. It's not any other time. So this is not, well, I can go later. It's only Saturday morning. Only Saturday morning, people. You've got a nib grind appointment, cancel it. This could be the last time, very likely the last time this is going to happen. Unless you catch me in the bar and I am crazy enough to bring this stuff down for fun. I don't know, man. That's a whole lot of crazy because it's a huge case. Okay, so now we're getting a little bit more. That's where we started. Anemic. I mean, it was even not writing. Okay, so at least we got some flow. This is a very thin nib, too. Much better. Holy cow. All right. Francis, thanks for the follow. Okay. While I got this out, I've got this guy here. And ideally, so on these M2s, you have these little indentures here. You see the little dot. See how it's kind of punched in there. And then that matches up with the spot. In this case, it needs to be this way. If you put it back the way it went on, it will be a whole lot easier. And it just snaps in place. Otherwise, you're reinventing the wheel. Okay, better, better, better. So originally a fine nib, now it's closer to a medium. This is a slow day. You tried searching for that Esterbrook ad. I fear it was on one of the now defunct forums. Google Lens search couldn't find it either. Huh. Well, we have it, right? A little bit of more feedback than I want. Nevertheless, it's a really great ad. Showing a very rare Esterbrook. There's a lot of great things going on in that ad. There we go. That nib is going to make someone happy. Apparently, the company who posted the ad still exists and they still sell furniture and office supplies. I wish I know where it came from. I mean, I guess it's probably kind of public domain now, isn't it? And there's no date on it, from what I understand. All right, let's I gotta spin these out. Founded in Des Moines in 1936. The company was founded in Des Moines in 36. But when is the ad? Do we know what paper it came from? And I realize some of these answers may be actually in the ad, and I'm just not looking at it right now, obviously. Need to get your car an oil change. Hope you have a fun afternoon. All right, sounds good. Thanks, David. There. Let's do up the Conways. If any of these Conways were of interest to anybody who's watching this, shoot me an email. hello@cardinalpens.com. There we go. And as soon as I have prices for them, we can make a deal. I can't believe how long this thing works on a single charge. It's still got, I charged it once. It's got four bars of charge still. And now I'm doing, I used to just turn it on and then turn it off. Now I'm just letting it do, 20 seconds. I should have written down the date that I did the charge so I know how long it lasts. Well, I'm down to, now that I say that, I'm down to 3 bars. I don't like how that does. Let's. These are too thin to fit in there. I need a thinner. I may have to use my backup here. Hang on, let's see what this one looks like. This actually will work a little better, I think, here. Either that or I got to line the wall of my salad spinner with micro mesh so it smooths as well as gets the water out. That might be disastrous though. All right, so those guys are done. That's some really, really great pens in here. Holy cow. Those first four, awesome. This one was real nice. All right, I need to test another pen. And then we're going to start working on that Carmine. So this was the Delta Dolce Vita Mini that we were trying to get the nib out of the other day. I was told by Des Moines Register, Sunday, December 12th, 1943. So very interesting. Yeah, and this is the problem. It doesn't write. But I need to write this down. Thank you. Very interesting. And I believe it references it being new. We're talking about an Estabrook twist filler here. Because they don't show up in the 1941 to 1942 catalog. 41-42 catalog shows Visumasters as the first J pen. This one I gotta post. It's so small. Such the internet sleuth you are, Gabriel. Why it's so tight. It's really very tight. Wish we could get that nib off. You sent the PDF of the page. Oh, thank you. Well, this just doesn't want to write. It's really. Pen Addict rating. Party of 131. Well, that's a party. How is everybody? T.U. Lee, what's going on? O.M. Gina, thanks for the follow. It's a hell of a name. The Toyota lawyer. I love that. I love the Lincoln lawyer, by the way. What a great show. Hello. Snarkosaurus, thanks for follow. This Delta is very, very stubborn. 2 weeks in a wake up till DC. Yeah. 2 weeks from 2 weeks from now, I will be at least 2 hours down the road. Hey, look at that. That's better. I like that. I don't like that. I'm supposed to be getting a new cooler. I decided I wanted one that you could plug in and keep cool while you're on the road. So it plugs into this, what we used to call the cigarette lighter outlet. But you know, I don't think no car has that anymore, right? It's not necessarily a cigarette lighter. But it was supposed to be here Monday, then it was supposed to be here Tuesday, and then it was supposed to be here today, and it's not coming today. Might be tomorrow. Hey, Stretch, you got a Coleman plug-in cooler. It's fantastic for road trips. Yeah, I mean, it's just, you know, we've got like a little thing that we use when we're traveling around Wisconsin. Put a couple ice packs in it, and it's okay until about time for lunch. And then, like, we always bring like a second soda or something, or, you know, maybe Lisa has some grapes. I'll bring some tangerines. And they're never cold. So I'm like, you know what? We're going driving to DC. I want something that's going to keep it cold if I want to turn it on, you know, that kind of thing. My writing pad reminds me of Makers & Co. I don't know who that is. These Lisa used to make. We've had a lot of requests for them. So I should just address that now since we're talking about it. We have made these on and off over the last, Lisa has made them on and off in a number of iterations. Oh, it's a shirting company. Okay. For the last, I don't know, 20 years, Lisa has made these. And the problem is they're very time consuming. They're time intensive. Yes, Lisa is coming to DC with me. If I had to drive myself to DC, it'd probably take me about 3 weeks to get there. I just hate driving that much. Oh, they use penny farthing bikes as their logo? Super cool. Super cool. But we used to make these. We make them in A5. We make them in A4. We make some really cool storyboard patterns and things like that. And while I want to do them again, the problem is in order to do them right, it really consumes most of Lisa's time. And now that she's actually working a job instead of working full time for the business, there's no time for that, because when things are going good, then it's okay. But you know, when the printer starts mucking up and, you know, things like that, then it's stressful. It's very stressful being in the same house as the printing operation. Hey Gary, should get a cooler that is powered by solar. Yeah, I thought about it. I just didn't want to spend a ton of money. Yeah, when you know, when the printer jams, and then you know, the ink gets all over the paper, and then the paper's ruined, and you know, it's no fun. It's just no fun. So, boy, this nib is terrible. This is a terrible nib. Oh my goodness. Sorry, Joe. It's not a. Oh, it's awful nib. I really think it needs to be grounded. It's way more than. When it writes, it's great, but now that I hold it up. Yeah, so once that'll get here in the next couple days. But yeah, we're looking forward to the trip. You know, and then we would get situations where when when we go to cut the pads, the cutter slips. You know, you've got them padded up and the cutter slips and it ruins the pads. I mean, it just, hey, Fuzzy, popping in for a bit. Good to see you. Thank you. Ah, man. I don't know. Looks like it's actually tipped off center. It's cut off center. You got to put a 4x4 behind it. Yeah, I don't know. Joe, if you're watching this, we'll be in touch. This needs more than. It kind of needs a grind to compensate for the miscut. Unfortunately. Sabas! TT, is that stand for time trial? Because yesterday was a time trial in Tour de France. We haven't talked about Tour de France yet. 327. Who watched Tour de France yesterday? Who was surprised at the win? Nobody and nobody. Nobody was surprised Remco won. Nobody should have been surprised. I have not watched today's stays yet. You're talking nib, I'm talking paper pads. Put a 4x4 behind. Oh, look at this. It's coming right out. I just bought this pen today. I don't know. I think if you had a 4x4 run over this Delta nib, it might be better. Which is too bad because the owner deserves better. All right, so we're going to Carmine Balance. How many riders use electric engines? You know, it's funny you mentioned that. I was watching what the heck is the name of the podcast? I was thinking I really got to follow this guy. The guy who's doing all the he's doing the interviews with Greg LeMond, and a reel popped up on my feed where Greg LeMond's talking about motors. It's pretty hilarious. You need my thoughts on the accident with Vingegaard? It's terrible. It's terrible. That guy can't catch a break, you know? I was really hoping Vingegaard was going to, I mean, you don't expect that, right? I was looking forward to Friday and Saturday is going to be like, I'm going to be insufferable all day. Because all I'm going to do is watch the Tour. If there's one thing I love about the Tour de France, it's the Alpe d'Huez. My bucket list would be to climb, to suffer through that climb someday, in real life. I have actually been doing the climb in Zwift once a week the last month or so, last 6 weeks. I've been doing it once a week. It's punishing. It's brutal. It's soul searching. It's hard. It's miserable. And it's wonderful when you get to the top. But what a shootout that would have been to have Vingegaard have a chance to, I mean, is there a chance 2 days in a row at Alpe d'Huez? Yeah, you could make up some time there. You get Pogačar on a bad day. How many riders use performance-enhancing drugs? I really hope the answer is none at this point. I really hope the Tour has, the Pro Peloton has learned their lesson, but there's always going to be someone looking for a shortcut, unfortunately. Big stage with lots of comments. My Strava figures are good. Thank you. I try. Did the drug test affect him? Well, I think it was a combination of factors, right? Getting woken up at 2 in the morning, 5 in the morning, when you're trying to sleep, is really not. I wouldn't say that that's going to be the reason he got into the accident, and that corner that he went down in was terrible. I mean, if you look at that, you go, the first thing you think of is like, now I get it. There's a very narrow street. Like, why would you go to the left? Why would you go to the left around that road furniture and try to make the corner? I mean, if you're going to the left, you got to brake because it's bad news. Yeah, 3 and 5, 2 and 5, something like that. Yeah. Doesn't matter. No, I mean, hell, if they woke me up, if they came to my house at 3 o'clock, I'd probably be up anyway, My cat would be waking me up wakes me up every day around 3 or 4 anyway, so I'm up. Yeah, they hit the corner fast. It was a bad corner. Now, and you can't. It's a tough one, right? Because you can't. It's easy to blame the Tour and say, listen, you gotta do something about all that road furniture, and you gotta put gendarmes there, and and all that stuff. But it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. I mean, you're talking about a 120-mile course. You can't have people at every intersection. And it's so sad. It is. You're sad it happened. Yeah, it's so sad to see Vingegaard get. He's never not finished the Tour. And boom, he's out, and we're talking a 5-minute deficit to second place. Okay, so everybody's like, well, we know Remco's going to win the time trial, and I swear, now call me crazy. It's like Cavendish. Yeah. Cavendish is, quite frankly, it was a miracle. I thought that he got 35. That 35th win was not given to him. He earned it, but I didn't, there are so many good riders that I couldn't see him getting the 35th win. Anyway. But I swear I saw Filippo Ganna in the Tour earlier on, but I must be imagining things. I'm getting it mixed up with the Giro, because I was like, well, I turned it on, and time trials for me are kind of a snoozer, because there's no sense of speed. There's no sense of, you're watching one guy, and the coverage I thought was rather abysmal. And I'm like, well, why isn't Ganna in the lead? Well, Ganna's not even in the Tour, right? I swear I saw him, but, I didn't. Clearly, or he's out, but I don't remember that. But, Remco killed it. Pogačar did pretty well, 28 seconds back. So what? He's got 4.5-minute lead. I mean, there's no way. There is no way. How am I watching it? Peacock, unfortunately. I know. I should be using a VPN. Gary's going to yell at me. VPN, SBS, you're good to go. I'm a sucker for Phil Liggett, even though he's making a lot of mistakes. Let's drop this in the ultrasonic. It's pretty grody. Somebody carved out, look at this, they carved out the section. Like, why would you do that? Why would you carve that out? That is horrible. We're going to have to shellac this section in place. Front me. That's NBC sucks for Olympics tour or whatever. Yeah, they're terrible. They are really bad. Gary, you've given up yelling. You've given up yelling. Yeah, they're terrible. I like Bob Roll. I like Bob Roll. He's gotten a lot better than when he. If you've watched NBC for a long time, or OLN, Outdoor Life Network, as it was for a while when Phil was on it. Bob Key in the early days was kind of like, I hated him. I couldn't stand, like, who is this clown, right? Who is this clown that's narrating the tour? But he's got it now. He's really got it down, and I think it's you can't wait for NBC to lose the Premier League. It's bad there too, huh? Bob's learning from one of the best guy in the business as far as commentating is concerned. I mean, Paul's Phil is a little he's slipping a little bit, but he's been doing this a long time, and there's certain things about the way Phil Liggett calls a race that you have to appreciate. You have to. I much prefer Eurosport and some of the European commentators and the discussion that happens, but I'm not so. You noticed that a couple years ago? Yeah. I'm not so bothered by the whole thing because there's an easy solution to it. There really is, because generally speaking, the first hour of any race is slow and boring anyway. So what I do is I fast forward through the pre-race show, so I don't have to listen to those clowns in the studio. Although I like Brent Bookwalter, he's all right. But TJ Van Garderen, he can just, I don't know, he can go back to EF education. We could do without TJ. Paul Burmeister, I mean, that dude drew the short straw of, hey, we're gonna carry the Tour de France. Which commentator is going to get stuck with it? And it was Paul Burmeister, and he's okay. He's gotten better over the years. But every broadcast is like, they're not broadcasting it. I mean, they're broadcasting it to Americans, for Americans, which means they're trying to make it idiot proof, assuming that none of us know what the hell's going on. I don't know. I'd much rather hear Orla Chenoy and exactly same thing for Olympics. Yeah, I mean, come on, give us a little bit of credit. We know what a peloton is. And the thing that chaps me the most. See, now I'm getting excited. This is a Brian rant, and I know there's not a single person here who's going to disagree with me on this one. So cycling is a sport in kilometers. Always has been, always will. It's a metric sport. There is no such thing as stage 17 of the Tour de France is 100 miles. It doesn't exist. What drives me nuts, and like, okay, you're broadcasting to an American audience. This is nice, a little bit cleaner here now. You're broadcasting to an American audience. We're used to miles and feet. That's fine. But when you show the statistics of a climb, this is what they do that drives me nuts. So they'll say, okay, we're going to climb Alpe d'Huez. It is 12.8 kilometers. It is 3,300 feet in elevation gain. Why mix them? Why don't you, I would be okay if they want to say, you blame Jimmy Carter for backing down on metrification? Yeah. We are currently getting a daily rant. Don't mention World Cup. No, don't mention World Cup or Facebook. You know, I mean, I'm cool if you want to say it's, you know, the stage today is 200 kilometers. It's 120 miles. But leave everything on the screen in metric. Force people to get used to that. Because it makes more sense. Because, you know, you go along the roadway, there is no 1 mile to go banner. The red kite is not at 1 mile to go. It's at 1 kilometer to go. Get people used to that metric. But that just drives me nuts. So it's 12.8 kilometers. It's 3,326 feet in elevation, and at 8.2% average gradient. What? Because I actually ride. When I ride in Zwift, I ride in metric. So I know it's 12.8 kilometers, or whatever up it was. Is it 10.8, 12.8, something like that? And it's 1,080 meters of elevation gain. I don't know what that is. 3,300 feet? Who cares? It's 1,080 meters. To you, you're getting me fired up, man. People are going, I thought this was a pen stream. What the hell is he talking about? We got a Carmine red balance here. It was $5 originally when it was brand new. Beautiful. Look at this. No white dot. It's kind of smaller size. Let's get a sack for it. What do you think? 16? 16 probably? Yeah, that looks good, huh? Anyway, watch the tour this week. Watch it Friday. Watch it Saturday. I'm missing a... What is it? Oh, here it is. Sunday actually might be interesting. Now that they've got this new final stage, it's no longer the Champs-Élysées. It's the how do you pronounce that? Montmartre climb. It was certainly an entertaining watch last year. The metric is the only way to go. Still can't believe you guys have not switched to it. I know. Oh my God. I mean, I get it's a massive undertaking to change every sign in the country to metric. Every vehicle. I mean, every vehicle already has that sub dial for metric. You just switch them around, you know, make the metric dial bigger. I'm going to polish this with the little microgloss. Yeah, the new final stage is interesting. You know, I don't know how much it's gonna. We'll see how much it even plays into anything this year. They've got that new climb in Zwift, and it's a brute. It's a short, little, steep thing that you with the kind of a false flat in the middle. I know a lot of people don't like Zwift. They think Zwift is a little too cartoony and all, but I love it. I think it's the speed at which they're pumping out climbs and accuracy of some of them. It's really great. And, you know, now they bought Ruby, so, you know, game over. Next week, depending on the weather, you're getting a new bike? Yeah. Unfortunately, over 95 of the bike shops went e-bike to survive. Yeah. No time like the present to start. Maybe after this administration. Yeah. Yeah, my local bike shop that I've been going to for a long time. You know, it's. I mean, she's happy to deal with me. She's dealt with me for 20 years, probably. At least 20 years I've been going to her. She's a fantastic mechanic, woman-owned bike shop. But it's e-bikes and fat tire bikes and, and in-town cruisers. And, she's not making any money on the roadies. And she has a hard time getting parts. I mean, I asked her about getting Campagnolo 11-speed parts last week because I want to upgrade my bike, and she can't get Campagnolo 11-speed parts. I mean, it's not that old. And I don't, I'm not switching to 12-speed on a trainer bike. I already put the money in to get 11-speed on it. I don't need to get. You gave up on the bike shop. You know the Shimano rep who was a great mechanic and knows his stuff. Well, my problem is I've been riding Campagnolo for so long. I had Shimano on the trainer bike for a while. And it was fine, but I'm used to the thumb shifters. I've been riding Campagnolo since 99. Give or take a year. And I like it. But in order to get a feature that I want, I have to buy new levers and new rear derailleur, and it's $400. And I don't really want to buy used. And you have to buy, and there's so many iterations of 11-speed that you have to buy the right iterations because they don't all work together. You prefer thumbs too? Well, I like for the complete nerds out there, if you haven't all turned off the stream yet, I'm a big fan of, and I didn't know what they called it until this last week because I was like trying to figure this out. I'm a big fan of what Campagnolo calls the Ultra Shift. They have Power Shift and they have Ultra Shift. And Power Shift allows you to shift into a higher gear, into one higher gear, or downshift 3 gears. You've got Camper Record, you love the thumb shifters and ergo hoods, yeah. Ultra Shift allows you to upshift 3 gears and downshift like 5 or 6. Actually, back in the day, I think I could do almost the whole cassette. I forget how it worked, yeah. It's much more convenient. The problem is the parts are not interchangeable, so I can't just get the shifters for my Centaur 11-speed rear derailleur and get Athena or Chorus or Record shifters and make it work. I have to get the rear derailleur too. And when I found that out, I was like, okay, cool. I found new old stock shifters, $200. That's fair. Okay, I could deal with that. And then I found out I have to get the derailleur to match, which actually doesn't match in finish. It's chrome instead of the black that everything else on the Gruppo is. And that's $200 for the derailleur. I said, no, I'm out. $400 plus whatever my tune-up's going to be. Because I'm dropping my bike off the morning I leave for DC to get it fixed. Just to get a checkup on it. And I thought, while I'm at it, perfect time for her to upgrade the shifters and the derailleur. Well, I mean, that visit's going to cost me $600. I'm not doing that. Not this year. Because I'm going to a pen show, man. I just spend $600 on something else. Bikes, fountain pens, ink, stationery, sports cars are similar, yes. That's why you're not overhauling your phone. Yeah. Now, if I wanted to, I could put my Waterford on the trainer. It's got campy record 12 speed, which is super sweet. But I keep lying to myself that I'm actually going to ride that bike outdoors one of these days. I think I want to knock this out now that I spent all that time cleaning it. Now that I can see it clean, I want to get it a little bit cleaner on the other side. So yeah, that's my first world problem. This app is still not showing your chat. Well, that's weird. Why would it do that? That's very rude of it. Just put it on a stand and admire. Yeah. I was going to hang it on the wall. It's a beautiful frame. I bought it brand new in 98. Your current derailleur and clusters for flats. Want to get a new set for hills. Couldn't get the parts. Use another bike for hills. Oh, man. Yeah, that's the problem. You know, you got to... you know, with campy, you got to kind of think like... You got to think 6 years in advance. You know, am I going to need something different in a few years? Let's see if I can get it here. Okay, so yeah, that's why I wanted to see it. There's a lot of crap in there. This unit won't fit in a knockout block correctly. So what you have to do is you have to kind of hold it to the side while you knock it out. And I always regret taking these apart, but because they're a pain to put back together. Yeah, when I got my 12-speed record, I went with the standard 5339, and I probably should have gone with a subcompact or compact crankset. And you know, what's a record compact crankset going to cost me now? $500? I don't think so. I'll suffer. That's what the 39's for, right? I'll just get a different rear cassette. You're watching the old Cycling Cats in Central Park online. It's beautiful. How was my vacation? My vacation last month was great. I went and visited a friend of mine. Actually went to a pen store. To hit some antique shops. I found a Mont Blanc rollerball at an antique shop for something like a Mont Blanc Bordeaux rollerball for Classique. Did I pay $15 for it? It was ridiculous. It was really ridiculous. Shop for some pottery, ate some barbecue. It was a great trip. I definitely want to go back. if my friend will have me. I'm sure he will. The Duke University Gardens is ridiculous. It's one of the most amazing things I've ever seen as far as a garden is concerned. North Carolina. I went to North Carolina. Went pottery shopping, got myself a wind chime. I still haven't figured out where I'm going to hang this wind chime. It looks like a big bowl upside down, but it's got the most beautiful sound to it. My last set of wind chimes at the old house, even after I restrung them, it broke again, and it was like, wow. Those I bought at an antique shop in Janesville, and it was kind of funny, but they ended up in the trash when we moved, so we no longer had wind chimes. All right, that's good. That looks nice. Now the trick is going to be getting this back together. It was even funner trying to get that thing through TSA, because I had it in my backpack. And I had bought, through my friend, he had purchased a bunch of stuff for me at the Raleigh show, which was the weekend prior or 2 weeks prior or something. So my suitcase had all sorts of stuff in it. Desk sets. I had desk sets in there. I mean, it was really kind of ridiculous. No, definitely go this way. So my hope is to get this started. Getting these off is one thing. Getting them back on is a complete other thing together. If I can get... There we go. If I can get the nib underneath the collar and get it started, then we can use a tool to keep that in place. Yeah, I was only in town for like 3 days, something like that. So I wasn't there very long. Went to Crazy Allen's. Saw Crazy Allen, the original. Ended up buying note cards at Crazy Allen's. Like one extra day probably would have been. There was actually saw another pen friend. Went to his new house, started to deconstruct his fireplace mantle. All right, let's see. Now the question is that going to be... No, I think we got to put that in. Yeah, Mike Madison was there, so I got to see Mike and Audrey. They came down for the event. I also made a trip to Franklin Christoph. I was I was supposed to have a conversation with Scott about a new project, but as it turned out, somebody else showed up that day too. So the plant tour and everything ended up being kind of a group thing. All right, well, let's see if that is good. If not, we'll knock it out and we'll do it again. But before we do that, let's make sure that this is cleaned. So there's a little bit of residue in there that doesn't want to come out. So yeah, it was a good trip. Productive in some ways, unproductive in others. Got home and then Lisa left for Denmark like 2 days later or the next day or something. I forget how that worked out. Well, this is like that other. I can actually scrape this off. This isn't as bad as the last one. I like rounded end picks for this kind of stuff because it doesn't scratch the plastic. Whatever that is, that was pretty caked on. Have I had any tools made in the past 6 months? No tools made. I will say that we've got, what did I say, the 22nd. I am supposed to have in my hands in 9 days a new part that nobody else has. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, that looks good. Much better. Much better. Nice and shiny on the underside. You can see the reflection on that. All right. Those are always a pain, but I am looking at having something made here pretty soon. Another part that is kind of needed. I just haven't gotten around to checking the feasibility. Is that the part for the vax that's coming? Yes. I'm supposed to have it at the end of the month. It's supposed to be July 31st, but I'm hoping it's I'm hoping it's not delayed too much because I don't want it to show up when I'm in DC because no one's going to be here to get it. And there will be quantity discounts. And if you're watching on Twitch and you're wondering who the heck I'm talking to, we're also streaming this live on YouTube, so we've got a chat on the YouTube side. You all have come a long, steady way. Great accomplishment. Thank you. I've got a couple parts that I really want to make, and the funny thing is I'm understanding that I will never make my money back on these things, but they're like $200-300 investments, you know, and I may or may not ever use them or sell them, but they're, you know, when you need the part, you can't get the part. You've got about 20 to restore? Okay. Well, I've got some too, so I've been real thankful I haven't had any requests for vax lately. But that, you know, I've been that part has been in the works for over 5 years. So when they come, I am gonna test. I hate the sound of this, but I'm gonna test every single one that comes in. For fit. To make sure they're good to go. So that's probably going to take me a week before I can make them available. All right. Well, that's a real pretty pen. Carmine. Yeah, I like Carmine too. The only fountain pen I have of my grandmother's is a Carmine military clip balance. which is super sweet. It was thin and petite, just like she was. I think she was like 4'11" or something like that. She's just 4 foot nothing. Second only to Rose Glow. Someday I'll have a oversized Rose Glow in my collection. I don't care if it's a vac filler or a lever filler, but holy wow. You have to buy a few things to make the postage charge worthwhile. Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal shipping Australia. You might actually be able to get. We could work something out, Gary. When the time comes, we can work something out. I may be able to get a small package to you. In fact, when the time comes, let me know in advance, and I'll just invoice you, and I'll be able to give you a better idea what the shipping is going to be instead of, I just have kind of generic rates on the website for international. I don't have that many international clients because it's so varied. It is basically first class shipping is $25. Priority mail is $55, and that's plus or minus a few dollars here or there. It depends on the country, but for those I could fit those in a small box, and that might be the way to go. But it would tell me how long it would take to get there. But I think you probably want to. I mean, it's up to you. Priority mail, international, probably be. I mean, it's definitely the quickest. Less likelihood of anything getting lost. A little sack residue build up in there. Yeah, let me know, and we can come up with. Usually what I do is I tell people you just order it, and then if it comes in significantly less, then I refund you the difference. But for you, just email me, and I'll get a box, and we'll start filling the box up. You're going to delete this app back after a while, not catch you again. All right, sounds good. Good to see you again. All right, that guy will be ready for tomorrow. That will be fun. That will be ready. What else we got cooking here? All right, so those pens are all tested and done. I'm gonna look at this real quick because I really want to shelve this. I want to shelve this drawer. We've been working on these pens for, I don't know, 2 weeks. But I have this, what appears to be a new old stock nib unit. And I don't know. We'll see if it's even straight. We'll see if this even fits this pen. It appears to work. It's hard to see because I really got to see. I can't see the needle. Oh, it's there. Well, we'll try this nib unit. We've already got a red, so let's just put this guy back together. And then I'm going to put this in the bin because this needle is just not right. It doesn't come back down. It's crooked. I can at least come to some closure on this. Hey, I got, there were 5 of these in total. At least I got 4 of them to work. That over there, that over there. This nib unit is no good either. Whoops. I lost there's a cover for the. Where did it go? Yeah, well, find it later. Sometimes they end up in my. I got a pocket in my apron here. That's a pretty big piece, though. Well, it hit the ground and it went rolling. Pull that off to the side. Get a little grease out. You know what I might do? This does fit. Lots of threads. Just going to set that down carefully. I'm going to drop this in the Dr. G's just for a little bit. We already did. But let's put it in there. The only thing I'm not certain of is how this. Is there a pin? Is that what holds that on? That seems highly unlikely, but seems like a dumb thing to do for a inexpensive pen, but I guess that's what they did. They put some kind of pin on there. So let's get this lubed up. Okay. Get this ready. Just didn't seem, we didn't get it, rub it off as much. As we did the first couple. It was definitely better. Yeah, just a little bit in there was good enough to get it. I can live with that. Let's clean this out on the inside. Filled up my Q-tip container today. Right. I got lucky with this extra unit. All right, what do we think? They're gonna work? I think it's easiest to try it with ink first. Yeah, so this is a 00. Or 0. Yeah, 00 needle. So it's really extra fine. You need to write really small. All right, so the next catch is how well does it fill? Because my bottle is really getting low. And I'm out of Waterman Black. Tester ink. I've got two different bottles of Waterman Blue. So feels great. And I think on something like this, you kind of got to leave it in ink after you've created the vacuum because the needle is so small. It was hard to get that ink out of there, though. Holy cow. I'm going to fill it up with water. And then we're going to put it in the just for fun because I like to do that sometimes. We'll put it in the salad pan. Squeaky chair. He'll think all the water got out. That was 2 runs in. Let's just see how much. It got most of it, but not all of it. And just watch the side of the bowl to see the water come out. Seems about right. Not bad. If you like a nice technical pen, a nice, obviously non-flexible on that it's outstanding. Look at that. Really, really great. I don't usually say that about extra fine stuff, but that's just really, that's what a stylograph is for. So I'm gonna have to hope to find the cover for this. Not that it matters. And then this guy is gonna go in the parts bin until I can get a new needle. Find a new needle somewhere. I might even. I wonder if I have one somewhere. Looking on the ground, see if I can see it. Anyway, that's pretty good. Well, it's 4:30. Tomorrow, I won't say I've run out of pens, but I kind of run out of pens. At least for now. I do have some more pastels, Esterbrook pastels I probably should get cooking on. All that stuff needs to get done eventually. Just try to do different things. So maybe we'll do a few more, another tray of pastels tomorrow. See what else I can dig up. See if I can find another stylo needle for this. I might have another one of these somewhere. Entirely possible. These are pretty common, but usually they don't work. You know, because they've been left sitting for years, uncleaned, and oftentimes probably just thrown away. So, or the needle, you know, people try to take them apart and clean them, and they bend the needle, and then it doesn't work after that. Well, if you could find a stash of these little vials here, that'd be the way to go. So, anyway, I think that's all I got for today. I got a couple things to wrap up here in the shop, and then I'm heading home to watch the tour. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a good rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, be well, and we'll catch you tomorrow, all right? Take care, everyone. Bye now.